I'm Chris Shelton. This is Josh Lindenstein. Welcome to BocoPreps this week. We're here to talk about high school sports. And how's it going?
It's going well.
We're going to talk about state tennis, softball, cross country, and gymnastics, soccer, and volleyball. And then later this week we'll have a show about football, so check back later for that show. So first off, Nat had a pretty good showing at the 4A state tennis this week. Harrison Lang obviously coming up short of one singles, but they still have two state champions in Michael Ojay and two singles, and his Spencer Lang, a freshman, at three singles. So,
and it's tough to knock off Cheyenne Mountain. No matter what you do, you've got to be about perfect. So,
yeah.
State runner-up finish is something to be pleased with for sure.
Sure, and they returned 7 guys out of 11 for next year. So I think Nat should be pretty strong again, and I think Fairview might be in the same boat, kind of in 5A.
Fairview's got 9 of 11 guys back. They were in a dogfight with Cherry Creek. They had 4 head-to-head matches with them on the final day in championship matches, and lost 3 of 4 of those, and weren't able to pull it off. But they've got a lot of kids coming back, and I know they're excited to try to knock off Cherry Creek again next year. Cherry Creek's won 37 of 40 state titles, so it's no easy task. But
yeah, what were you? You were at 5A for 3 days. So what were your impressions of Fairview?
They were solid. They're like Cherry Creek. They've got good players all the way through all 7 positions, and they've got 3 freshmen on that team who were holding their own against older guys on the court, and they've got a couple of juniors that won a title at number 4 doubles, Ben Crahan-Buell and Nick Blanco. I'm sure those guys may move up a spot or something next year and just add to their strength at a higher spot. So they should be strong. Boulder got 5th place, no small feat for them either, but they lose all 3 of their singles players, so they'll have some rebuilding to do. But they've got a lot of kids in that program, so.
Yeah, 5th place is, concerning what happened to them this year, losing their number 1 singles player. I think that's pretty good.
And then you can't overlook Monarch next season as well. They've got all 3 of their singles kids back. Jack Shanahan took 4th place at number 3 singles, so that was a big deal for them. It was the best finish they've had for someone since Mary Prass has been coach now for 3 years. So
yeah, cool. We're moving on to softball. State softballs this weekend. It's kind of an exciting time. Erie won 4A state championship last year. They're so young this year. I think it's going to be tough for them to repeat.
It's going to be tough for them to repeat, but Erie is still Erie, and all those kids know is winning championships. So even though they're just the number 7 seed, I believe it is, probably wouldn't be safe to count them out. But you've got Broomfield and Silver Creek in this area also at state. They tied atop the Northern League. Silver Creek had a little bit better run differential, I think, in those 2 games. Usually softball comes down to who has the power pitcher at the high school level. Silver Creek's kind of different in that they've got a loaded lineup. They got 3 kids hitting over 500. Ryan Beavers was telling me today he's never had more than 2 in the history of his coaching hit over 400. So to have 3 hitting over 500 this year, they've got a juggernaut lineup, and so it'll be interesting to see how they match up against some of those big pitchers in the state. And Broomfield obviously is just as strong and should be able to fend for themselves as well.
Yeah, they always seem to have state tournament experience, which is always helpful.
They're always in that mix.
Yeah.
Getting into the first round or state quarterfinals, they always seem to be right there.
Yeah. And another important week in sports for cross country, because it's regionals this week, and you got to qualify for state or regionals, and everybody's going to be busy. I think, especially at Lions.
Yeah, that's cross country is one of those sports where you've got to do it on that one day. You got to go and perform on the day of regionals. You can't
be sick. You can't have a little nagging injury that's gonna, or you got to put yourself.
Yeah, everything you've done to this point in the season really doesn't matter. You got to go perform on that day and make it to state. So,
if you like running, you got to be at Lions on Thursday, because I think there's that 2A regional with Al Dawson and Lions and Shining Mountain, and that should be kind of interesting race. And Birdie Hutton and the Lions girls, and
yeah, fun to watch. Lions is always tough. You got Birdie Hutton from Shining Mountain. Dawson's been tough the last couple of years. So at the small school level, where they're only scoring, I believe, 3 runners, makes it pretty interesting, because all those schools can throw some good people out there.
Yeah, and there's a large 4A regional at Lions the same day. It's like all our local schools, like Broomfield, Niwot, Skyline, Silver Creek, Erie.
Cross country is so strong in this area. Broomfield strong as a team. Elise Cranny at Niwot, very strong on the girls' side, so it should be interesting. 5A, you got Boulder, Fairview, and Monarch, all really good. So we'll be seeing all those teams compete again at state next week, and we'll be chatting about them more then.
Sure, and they're at a regional Wednesday down in Aurora, and we'll have complete coverage of all those meets at BocoPreps.com. And then just to kind of finish it up, we got last week of soccer and last week of volleyball, and Monarch and Fairview have a big volleyball match on Tuesday at Fairview. And then the Broomfield Northern Conference Gymnastics are Saturday at Broomfield. So check back at our website, BocoPreps.com, for all our coverage of those events.